right, so since Gamescom just happened last week, we thought we'd give our first impressions of some upcoming games. And Abdul got his hands on the beta for Mortal Kombat 1. So Abdul, what do you think of the new beta? How do you like it?
Man, I gotta say right now, this was amazing on every regard. Personally, I'm really excited with this. I've already had it pre-ordered. One, I'll say graphically, super impressive. I think all the facial animations, they really stepped up. But I will say, if you're a fighting game person, if you've kept up with Mortal Kombat in general, I think as I mentioned to you before, MK11, this is a lot more like reminiscent of that. Even though they do kind of reward you being a lot more aggressive to play this time, and there is a lot of like changes and enhancements to it, this is a lot more slower. I think MK11 was kind of the type of game where I guess you had to be a little more tactical, more strategic. This is more so like chain together a lot of different combos, like in this one, I think you've probably seen it in some of the trailers. There's like this whole feature of cameo fighters and aerial combat. So like one of the things you'll be doing while you're fighting somebody is like you'll chain together a combo, you can jump behind them, you can use your cameo fighter to hit them from the front, and then you can get them from the back, all homo. So it's kind of tight the way you can just kind of juggle the character. Yeah.
I mean, you do know you're describing the mechanic in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? It's literally the exact mechanic. It's not new.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I agree. Like, I think one of the things that you needed to add is like cameo fighters isn't a new thing, and I think in this game really it's just about. It's not like you swap characters and you jump in. It's essentially like tag teaming and juggling in a new type of game. It's a new feature for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
and
they jump in and they just do a move and then they go back.
Yeah, and I thought that actually made it kind of gave the game itself new life, because this is you've been used to like a one-on-one combat. You've been used to like one style. It's like over the top type of like graphic killing. And I guess one of the bonus features was also the fact that your cameo characters are strictly limited to classic people, meaning some of these people might not even have anything to do with the story. They're just classic skins. And then you can also like pull off like a fatality with your cameo character. You share an X-ray ability with your cameo character, and this is more about finding like the dynamic.
So
go ahead.
Like Homelander, Peacemaker, like those are all just cameo characters. Like you can't actually use them in the game. They're just like side characters.
No, those will be DLC. So they'll be DLC or whatever. They won't have anything to do with the story, obviously. Just kind of like, but they just kind of preemptively let you know. But pretty much the title screen, right? You have a title screen of like, I don't know, like 30 characters, something like that. After you click them, it takes you to another screen of just strictly cameo fighters. So you're not gonna necessarily use these people or anything like that. Like I think one of the cameo fighters was Frost, Kano, Sonya Blade. Like some of these people may or may not be on it, but like I know Ed Boon was talking about it, where like Motaro plays better as a cameo fighter, but using his legs and everything like that in an actual fight, that was gonna be kind of difficult. We haven't really put him in a game just like MK3 and then like MK Armageddon and everything like that. So it's just interesting the way it plays. So you're not gonna necessarily use all of them. So yeah. Sorry.
Like I was like, are your standard characters there? Like you mentioned Sonya Blade as a cameo character. Is she not like a playable character also in the game? Like in the story mode?
I don't know yet, because the thing is, the story is MK1, so this could be a full-on reset. Like all of them could be introduced later in the story, for all you know. Sonya Blade, I don't think has not been in any games. I think she's been in pretty much every single Mortal Kombat, surprisingly. But yeah, they've kept their so far only on the cameo screen for now. But also, I mean, with the beta, you're only limited to like 6-7 characters, so I couldn't see everybody that you had, and you also had like a different title for everyone else. So there was that. But I just wanted to mention that, like, if you were someone, like I said earlier, if you were someone that didn't like MK11, or you hated people that spam, like some of the characters like Kenshi or somebody, you'll play online, and you know one of Kenshi's abilities is using his shadow character, and so cut with the cameo and using your shadow character, it's like that can be kind of a lot to handle if you're not used to it, and also if you're going to deal with a lot of these Liu Kang spammers. Like Mortal Kombat's a competitive fighting game, but you have ways that people can cheat really easily.
So, mechanic wise, like I like MKX. Alright, MKX is really fun. The combo is really good to me. MK11 was kind of like slow paced, like the juggling wasn't. It just didn't kick. Like I don't know. I just didn't like it. I can't really explain why I didn't like about it. It just seemed slower to me. After watching like some gameplay, I think it was your gameplay actually. It looks like they're going the same route. Like the combo, like the movement looks slow, but the combos look fluid. Is it the same like movement pace as the last game, or is it like Mortal Kombat X?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, definitely a lot more like MK11. It rewards you for being more aggressive. Like you are gonna want to be piecing together combos a lot more easier. And this one, you want to enhance your hits. You're gonna want to like always push like you have a meter for your X-ray that you can use. You're gonna want to use that a lot more. I don't know if you used to do that when you played. I think the other thing is like your X-ray hit itself. In MKX, you can kind of just roll into your X-ray attack, like. Whereas in MK11 and in MK1, it kind of like pauses the screen and like kind of like prepares your opponent before they're about to get it. Like you probably noticed in one of my videos where like someone was about to land an X-ray hit and I jumped over him and then I tried to do an X-ray and he's still able to like dodge that, and that was kind of like, okay, it's, I don't know, it just kind of, I don't like that personally, but again, I think the way with them adding the camo fighters and with them adding aerial combat, also the other thing is they removed fighting styles. So before, when you had to choose like the Cryomancer Sub-Zero, you're limited to essentially, okay,
yeah, I'm
getting the full package Sub-Zero. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like you have all your abilities, sliding and cloning, and yeah. So yeah.
I kind of like when they split the abilities off, because I felt like I'm using this like Kenshi rather than this Kenshi, and it's two different playstyles. So it's kind of like it's three different characters with the same character with a different moveset. I kind of like that, but it's, I mean, less combos to learn. Have to learn, I guess. No.
Yeah. I mean, you can get adapted to
memorize. I should fuck that.
yeah. You can get used to a character a lot more easier that way. I agree with it, but it also simplifies it. Almost doesn't feel like you're doing a trade-off by choosing somebody. Like at one point, Mortal Kombat, I think in the 3D era, was all about like when you selected a character midway through the fight, you could change your fighting style. But I think when we got to the PS4 era, they pretty much changed it where you're choosing like his ability type, like his actual powers and enhancements and stuff. So that felt like more of a trade-off where you're like, damn, like what I want to kind of use this ability with this ability, where so you don't have to worry about that in MK1, which I like so far. I don't know where the story is going to be taken, but one of the things I just noticed when like, when you have your fights intro, like they say things. So I think one of the things Kung Lao says is like, I trained Shujinko. That's in the game now, but obviously in the games back then in the 3D era, that wasn't the case. Like Shujinko's storyline is completely separate from like Kung Lao and Liu Kang and everybody. Like he's the one who awakens the Dragon King.
Nerd.
So I don't know. The only thing I was going to mention was that the way they're changing up the story, the way you're kind of seeing all the subtle changes, you're seeing like Shao Kahn and Sindel, they're not married. They're kind of like rivaling for power. You see Sub-Zero and Scorpion, they're like brothers. Instead of Liu Kang being the champion, Raiden is the champion. Like, there's a lot of these different things they're like trying to pull off now. So even though it's a reboot, like I said, it's still a continuation of the old game. Where even in this first trailer, like you see Kronika, who was the last one in the last game. So I'm excited, man. I don't know. I like, this is one of my games, gameplay wise and story wise. I'm ready for this shit. So.